This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the all-stars of the Renegade's TNT Monster Truck Challenge. Welcome to the Lebanon Valley Speedway, some 10 miles from the Massachusetts border in upstate New York for monster truck racing. Hi, everyone. I'm Stan Rhodes. Glad to have you join us here for Trucks and Tractor Power on the Nashville Network. And, of course, a man who knows all about the rivalry between USA 1 and Bigfoot, Rich Hooser.
That's right, Stan. The rivalry is still there, too, this year. Andy Brass is driving. Now, last year, Rod Litzau nosed me out, and he rolled the truck doing so. This year on the mini circuit, did the same thing against Andy. The competition's still tough. He rolled it in Buffalo, but he won the race, and he came back to win 2 more after that with the damaged truck.
All right, also working alongside with us is TNT Motorsports' Mike Goss. Let's find out about his perspective for tonight's race.
Thanks, Stan. Last year was a 2-truck race between USA 1 and Bigfoot, with the Chevrolet coming from way behind to nip Bigfoot at the end. He's behind already this year, quite a bit behind. That's because he's racing against the likes of the Equalizer, Carolina Crusher, and the awesome Gravedigger behind me. It's not a 2-truck race anymore. Any one of 12 trucks out here on the TNT Monster Truck Challenge can win it.
Well, while these folks are cooling off in a mountain stream, we're getting set for some hot monster truck action from the Lebanon Valley Speedway in just a moment. Valley Speedway, Stan Rhodes along with Rich Hooser. And while the trucks are lined up, we'll take a look here at the first part of our series. In the first bracket, it will be Buffalo Tremor taking on MOPAR Magic, and then Gravedigger against Nightlife. Moving on will be Awesome Kong taking on the Jersey Outlaw, and then finishing up the bracket, Bigfoot against Rambo. And here we see qualifying round with USA 1.
Yeah, the reason we're showing this qualifying round here, USA 1 has some problems with his vehicle, and he's not going to be able to run in the whole show tonight. As you can see right there to the first set of cars, and no problem comes up against that rail a little bit, but he's going to take the win because USA 1 has broke, I believe, the transmission or the drive shafts on the truck.
Well, let's go down to Mike Goss. I believe he's got Rod Litzau standing by so we can find out what indeed was the problem that caused him to stop right there after the first jump.
Okay, your defending champion's defense of his national title is halted once again. Rod, what happened in qualifying?
Well, when I took off in that qualifying run, when I hit second gear, it just tore the tranny out of it. And we don't have enough time. It's a 3-hour job to put it in. I won't be able to come back. It's a bad thing to happen.
So, Rich, that rivalry we look for between USA 1 and Bigfoot won't take place.
That's right, Stan. It's too bad about USA 1 that had to happen because he's a heck of a runner when it comes to this monster truck racing, and this is his track.
So, first round begins with Buffalo Tremor and MOPAR Magic.
And you can look at MOPAR Magic. He doesn't have it painted on there because he rolled that vehicle just a few weeks ago. And look at this. Buffalo Tremor's going to take the win. But I tell you what, MOPAR Magic just stayed right with him.
Well, he did, and that was the only dodge in the competition. But indeed, Buffalo Tremor, good run.
Yeah, he had an excellent start at the starting line there. Across that first set of cars, hit the ground. Now, Buffalo Tremor's got tremendous horsepower in that truck. He just got to learn how to keep it under control. And he did a good job there.
It came close to hitting Buffalo Tremor. So now you see Dave Wyzorek pulling up Nightlife.
Another guy here, Dave Wyzorek. Now, he's been doing pretty good lately, but look, he's going up against Gravedigger, and this is going to be a tough race right
Dennis
here.
Anderson has got those red lights on.
He's one of the crowd favorites, and watch him. Keep your eyes close on him because he runs fast. He'll get away from you. He's got an excellent run, Stan. Oh, just a clear in the last set of cars. Oh, a tremendous run.
Well, Dennis Anderson had problems just trying to straighten up after he won that one.
Yeah, you get that horsepower going, and you get going that fast, 50 miles an hour at the finish line, it can be a little tough to keep it straight.
Good win for him. Let's go down to Mike.
Dennis, you cleared all these cars here at the end, but it looks like you hurt your truck. What happened?
Yeah, I rung a front yoke off the drive shaft, off the transfer case, and come down pretty hard. I really sailed the truck, smacked my head pretty good, too. It jarred me around a little bit there, but it was a rough run.
Well, jarred him around a little bit, and now we just found out that he does have a broken front drive shaft. Now, when he comes back in his next round, he's only going to have 2-wheel drive. Tell you what, Stan, that's going to be hard for even him to beat anybody on this track.
And now it's going to be Steve Kane and Awesome Kong against Mike Wine and the Jersey Outlaw.
Okay, here's where he's going to say, oh, look at that Jersey Outlaw. Gets a jump on Awesome Kong, but Awesome Kong's got a whole lot of horsepower, and he should be able to pull away, and he does, and he just blows him away.
And Steve Kane has to power out of that one, taking a great win in Awesome Kong.
All right, let's take a look on the replay and just see Jersey Outlaw just staying right up with Kong. But as soon as they get in that flat ground, he just opens up that horsepower, gets a little bit bouncy in the back end, but he does a good job.
Now it's going to be Wild Bill Weaver in Rambo. He'll be taking on Bigfoot, driven by Andy Brass.
Well, let's see if Andy can keep this truck and keep the reputation up here going against Rambo. This guy's got a lot of experience. His truck's not quite the horsepower or built with the suspension for racing, but he does good across these tracks. Andy's got a good jump on him. He's not bouncing a whole lot. Hits the second set of cars, just about clears them.
All right, Andy Brass jumped on the green and got the win.
All right, let's take a look at Andy's run here. He's just bouncing just a little bit up to that first set of cars, but as soon as he gets down to that ground, he just takes off.
Andy, the New York Mini Series is winding down, and you haven't won yet. You got to be pretty anxious to get back on top.
Yeah, we are. You know, as I say, we've been through the whole series, been having a little bad luck there. You know, we've been taking a lot of seconds, a lot of thirds, and here lately we've been busting transmissions, so we ain't been having a whole lot of luck.
So the first round action continues. It'll be Mad Dog taking on Walking Tall, and then Clydesdale up against Wild Hair. And then the Equalizer up against No Problem, and Stopper taking on Carolina Crusher.
This is going to be a good bottom half, Stan. There's a lot of competition left here. Now, Bigfoot said he'd even have a little bit of problems. Let's see if he can hang on and possibly get this win here tonight.
Tom Beats in Walking Tall taking on Jon Breen and Mad Dog, waiting for that green light.
This is going to be a good one. Mad Dog, he's got a lot of experience running this monster truck. Going up against Walking Tall, he don't quite have the horsepower or the suspension, but I tell you what, he's got a lot of horsepower in that Mad Dog, but he just walks away with the win right there.
Well, Mad Dog, he took the win. Looks pretty impressive.
As you can see here, Walking Tall wasn't walking very tall tonight here. Mad Dog just kind of coasted across the finish line because he didn't even have a race.
So now it's going to be, well, the brother, Bob Breen in Wild Hair out of Jefferson City, Missouri, taking on Bennett Clark, former rodeo rider in Clydesdale.
Of course, Bennett Clark's got a new truck this year. He's been running real good with his truck. It's light, all fiberglass, and going up against Green, he's just got a big block with a single carburetor. So this is just going to be a simple run for Clydesdale. Oh, he gets a little bit bouncy there. Now listen to him. He keeps throttling on. Now let's see if we can watch Clydesdale and see exactly how that happened. Now he had it nice and easy going across that second set, but look, right there when his back tires hit that, he bounced up and he had the power out of it.
Well, that shows a driver knowing what he needs to do, so it will be No Problem, driven by John Moore up against Dave Morris, an Equalizer. This will be a good run to watch.
Now, I'll tell you what, John Moore, he's not intimidated by Equalizer with all that horsepower in that fancy truck. He's going to do what it takes to come and try to beat this guy. Now, look at this, No Problem just stayed right up with him.
John did a great job, but I'll tell you, Dave Morris has got that truck going.
Oh, he does. Look at how much air he's getting right here. Now, No Problem kind of stays up with him, but he doesn't quite get it enough.
Well, the points leader, Gary Porter, in Carolina Crusher, he's going to take on Marvin Smith in Stopper, so this is another race to watch.
Well, I tell you what, this action is just unbelievable. These two guys have run against each other many times, and I ran against both of them too, and they're both great drivers. And let's see what happens here. Carolina just jumps ahead of us.
They're close.
In the first set of cars. Look at him fly. He misses a whole set of cars. Well, they call him a Carolina Crusher, but he didn't touch a one of them, Stan. Look at the air he's getting here.
He really took a good win over Marvin Smith in Stopper. All right, we've had some great round one activity here at the Lebanon Valley Speedway. Hey, this kid might be tired, but we're a long way from being finished. To West Lebanon, New York, Stan Rhodes along with Rich Hooser. We're here at the Lebanon Valley Speedway, and a capacity crowd here tonight, thoroughly enjoying all the monster truck activity, and we're just moments away and about a pizza bite away from starting round two. It will begin with Awesome Kong against Buffalo Tremor, and then taking on Equalizer will be Gravedigger. Bigfoot up against Mad Dog, and Clydesdale taking on Carolina Crusher.
And of course, we got to remind you later on down the road, Gravedigger's only running in two-wheel drive, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one.
That'll be a race to watch now. John Kliznuski out of Lackawanna, New York, in Buffalo Tremor, taking on that skinny Chevy. Steve Kane, the Flying Texan, in Awesome Kong.
And here's two trucks right here, Stan, with both trucks tremendous horsepower. Now, I'll tell you what, Awesome Kong has pretty much control over his truck. Let's see if Buffalo Tremor can do the same thing.
It's close.
It's real close, Stan. Buffalo Tremor, all that horsepower, but a little bit behind Awesome Kong.
Boy.
Awesome Kong takes the win.
Talk about close. Just by a nose.
Let's take a look at the replay here. Awesome Kong just a little bit ahead, but not a whole lot. Buffalo Tremor hangs on, but he's a little bit short.
What's the rest of the field look like? Who's your major competition?
I'd have to say Equalizer and Carolina Crusher.
Can you beat those guys?
I've beat him before. I feel I can do it again.
Well, we'll find out if he can, because he'll be facing one of those, and that is Equalizer, driven by Dave Morris. He's got a very fast truck. He's out of Springfield, Tennessee, and he'll be taking on Dennis Anderson in that awesome truck called Gravedigger.
And of course, let's remind you guys once again here, Gravedigger's only running in two-wheel drive, so he's going to have to take it real easy. Coming off that starting line, if you don't have four-wheel drive, it's going to hurt you right off the bat.
And there's the green.
Of course, Equalizer gets a little bit of jump on Anderson since he didn't have four-wheel drive, and he's just going to blow him away here because Anderson, he's not even going to be able to finish the run.
Unbelievable win for Equalizer, flying all the way over those cars.
And he didn't have to run it very hard, but this guy likes to run it hard, and he wants to know that track because he's going to come up and try to get in the finals.
David, Gravedigger was handicapped, but you don't let up against that guy, do you?
Well, I was over there working on my truck. I didn't know if he was handicapped or not. I knew he had drive shaft problems, but like I said, I didn't know if he got his truck all straightened out. So I knew running against that guy that I had to run hard, so that's what I did.
All right, you've got Awesome Kong in the semifinals, and he just told me he didn't think he'd have a problem with you. He wants you bad tonight.
Well, he's going to get me.
Well, here you see the original monster truck, Bigfoot, driven by Andy Brass. He's moving it into position. He's out of St. Louis, Missouri. And now the guy whose blood just boils for a chance to take him on, Jon Breen in Mad Dog.
Of course, Mad Dog's, his shop is only a couple hours away from the Bigfoot shop, so he wants to beat Bigfoot bad, and he'll do anything it takes to take a win. Now let's see what's going to happen here. Andy's got his work cut out for him. They both got a great hole shot. Mad Dog's just inching up on him a little bit there. It's close. They both hit the cars about the same time. It looks like Mad Dog wins.
Unbelievable.
And it was a great run. Let's see what happened to Andy. It looked like he started bouncing a little bit after that first set of cars. And he just might be just a little bit under horsepowered right there, and Mad Dog just nosed him out. Now here's a good ground shot at the finish line, and you'll see the air that these guys get where Mad Dog just barely beats him.
Well, let's find out what happened to Andy Brass.
Andy, when you're Bigfoot, everybody's after you.
That's right. You know, trying to be the name, trying to uphold the name, you know, it's getting to be a lot harder now. A lot of the guys getting a little faster, a little bit better trucks, you know, and it's really getting to be rough now.
Well, now Mike's got a very, very happy winner, Jon Breen.
John, you told me you were going to get him, and you did it. Tell us about it.
Well, I come out real hard, and I come out pretty even with him, and I come off the cars. I was just a little ahead of him, and I got just a little bit crooked, so I stayed in it. I didn't know how I was going to end up. He was really coming on. That big motor was getting me quick, so it couldn't have been no closer, but I got him at the end of it.
That certainly was close, and now former rodeo champ Bennett Clark in Clydesdale putting in that kill switch, and he's out of Powder Springs, Georgia. He'll be taking on the Carolina Crusher, Gary Porter, current points leader. So this is going to be another close race, perhaps.
Yes, it is. Now, these guys have run against each other before, and with that new truck that Bennett Clark's got, it looks like he might have jumped the gun just a little bit there. I'm not sure if he red-lighted or not. It looks like Porter's just got a pretty good lead on him. He hits that second set of cars, clears them, and he beats them at the finish.
Gary Porter just took it all away from the Clydesdale.
Of course, Bennett Clark got a little sideways after that first set of cars, and there's where Porter got his advantage. Just fly across the finish line. As you can see right here, he's got a lot of air, and he's about a truck and a half ahead of him.
Now, Jon Breen's been around a long time. You don't take him for granted.
Oh, no, I don't. He's been in the sport longer than I have, and, you know, he's pretty slick when it comes to this type of racing, so I'm going to have to look out for him.
Well, this kid sure tells us who one of his favorites is, Rich Hooser, and he's only been out of the sport only a year, but in that time, these trucks have really gotten a whole lot faster.
For these monster trucks to go faster, they need to get lighter. Now, there are various ways to do this. One of the ways is to change the frame. Now, most monster trucks will run a steel frame, but as you see on Buffalo Trimmer, he uses an all-aluminum C-channel, which lightens his truck by at least 1,000 pounds. Now, most monster truck bodies are made of sheet metal. As you can see here on Clydesdale, this is an all one-piece fiberglass body. Now, another way to lessen the load is to lighten up the axles. As you see on Equalizer, he uses a front loader type like you used on most cars instead of a top loader like you see in the heavier vehicles and military vehicles. And believe it or not, by shaving an inch or two off of the cleats on the tires and using a lighter one-piece wheel, you can lighten these tires up by about 200 pounds apiece.
So we're all set for the semifinals here at Lebanon Valley Speedway, and it will be Awesome Kong who beat out Buffalo Tremor in the second round. He'll take on Equalizer, who buried Gravedigger. So this should be a good race, Rich. Awesome Kong. There you see Steve King, the Flying Texan, putting in that kill switch.
Of course, some kill switchers are very important, especially when you get down to the semifinals and the finals, because these guys are going to be flying.
And they're waiting for the green.
Okay, this is going to be a good race. It's going to be fast. Awesome Kong and Equalizer. Equalizer's got a little bit of lead on him. He gets a bounce there. That's not like him. Oh, it's close, Stan, but I believe Equalizer wins it.
Unbelievable. He had problems after that first jump.
Yeah, but he corrected him real quick. That's where his suspension is really working. Now, right there, he's bounced more than he has all night. Got a little bit sideways, but as soon as he got straight, he nailed it, flew across that last set, and beat him by about a half a truck length.
David, Awesome Kong was fast qualifier. He pushed you to a lane you hadn't been running in, and that put him in a lane he hasn't been running in. Looked like a psych job on you.
Yeah, I think he made a mistake by doing that, though, because he's been running good over here all night long, so I think he should have really stayed with the lane that he's been running with, because I think he'd have been more familiar with it. I've been running with both sides, so it really didn't make any difference to me.
So now it's going to be Jon Breen and Mad Dog, and he upset, so to speak, Bigfoot. Very close race in that second round. He'll take on Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher as he nosed out Clydesdale.
But I tell you what, if Mad Dog runs this race like he ran that last race against Bigfoot, hey, this could be a fast run here. Carolina Crusher's been doing great all night long. Mad Dog just come out of the blue and started running real fast. Let's see what happens here. It's going to be close. They're both side by side off the first set. Mad Dog gets a little bit crooked. He's got to let off the gas, and Porter just flies past him.
Well,
great run.
Good run. Carolina Crusher, and it all had to do with that second jump.
Yeah, Mad Dog got a little crooked after the first set, but Carolina Crusher kept it nice and straight.
Gary, when Mad Dog beat Bigfoot, you knew you were going to have a battle.
I knew I was going to have to push it to the limit. John's been in it a long time, and I knew I had my work cut out for it. But I just held it to the floor and get everything I had to take the win.
Equalizer in the finals. He said he can get you.
Well, he has beaten me before, and I have beaten him before. It will be a very good race in the finals. I think I'm going to have a lane choice, and I'm going to try to put him in the bad lane, and I think I can run a good straight race and take the win.
So it's going to be the finals. Equalizer taking on the Crusher when we continue from the Lebanon Valley. And welcome back. Stan Rhodes along with Rich Hooser, and we are anxiously waiting to get started with the finals here at the Lebanon Valley Speedway. It's going to be Dave Morris in the Equalizer taking on Gary Porter, the current points leader in Carolina Crusher. Let's check in with Mike Goss for his perspective.
Thanks, Stan. Last year it was USA 1 and Bigfoot in a lot of the finals, but this year we've got new blood, like Equalizer and Carolina Crusher, the top two trucks in the points at this point of the season. Carolina Crusher has lane choice, but Equalizer has already proven he can win out of either lane.
Okay, Carolina Crusher's going to take the right-hand lane, which is a lot wider than the left-hand lane where Equalizer's going to be at because of them guardrails, only but a couple feet away from them cars.
So, Gary Porter is putting in the kill switch. He's out of Wadesboro, North Carolina. Going to try to put it all the way down with that Carolina Crusher. He's going to take on Dave Morris. He's putting in his kill switch as well, driving the Equalizer.
Of course, them kill switches are very important in this final run. These guys are going to do whatever it takes to win, and these guys both deserve to be in this finals. They've worked hard through this whole mini-series to get here, and they're doing a great job. Now, one thing about this race, now lane choice means a lot, but I tell you what, after that second set of cars, and to get lined up for that second set of cars, there's where the race could be won or lost.
Well, let's find out.
Of course, Equalizer and Carolina Crusher side by side. Equalizer a little bit crooked after that first set. It looks like Porter's going to beat him.
Absolutely. You were right about that first set of cars. Carolina Crusher got that win.
Let's take a look here. As you can see, Carolina Crusher's lined up. He's on the ground. He has no problem hitting that second set. Now, Equalizer got a little bit crooked. Let's get real close here at the finish line. You can see how close it really is.
Very close. Good win for Gary Porter.
Well, motorsports fans, this is the new blood we discussed earlier in monster truck racing, and the win goes to Gary Porter with Carolina Crusher. But first, David, you really got out of shape after that first set of cars.
Yeah, that's the worst run I've made all night long. I come over the second set. I took a bad hop in there somewhere and got crossways of the track, and that cost me a race.
He still got back in it, made it very close at the end. Gary, you've lengthened your points lead a little bit at this point. What's it going to take to hang on and win this thing?
Well, I'm going to have to keep on running like I have tonight. The points are real close between me and Equalizer at the time, and I'm just going to have to keep on pushing my truck to the limit and taking the wins like I've done tonight.
Well, Stan, I know how Gary feels. Same way I did last year. It was all real close. But I tell you what, this year, monster truck racing, these guys are getting fast.
Congratulations to Gary Porter. So, for Mike Goss and Rich Hooser, this is Stan Rhodes. See you next time on Trucks and Tractor Power on the Nashville Network.